We were having such an amazing time on this ship behind us until things went really badly wrong. And after paying over $9,000, we are a little bit gutted. Now our cruise has basically been cancelled halfway through and we're stuck here now. We're going to talk about what went wrong, other problems with river cruising that you may not know about that you definitely need to know before booking. Right, let's talk about it.
Quick heads up, this video is brought to you by Squarespace.
Well, ahoy there, cruisers. We're not going to mess around. We're not going to keep teasing you for the whole video. We're just going to get straight into it. So, unfortunately, our cruises came to an abrupt end. We still have 3.5 days left, so we're just halfway through our cruise. The water levels in Europe on the Danube. We're sailing the Danube from Passau in Germany to Budapest in Hungary. Just arrived in Vienna, so halfway through our cruise, and the water levels are too low for us to continue. So basically, we're going to be spending the rest of the cruise here in Vienna with plans to do something later on, but we don't know what yet because it's just been my God, my heart's beating so fast. I wonder if you can hear it. That's hilarious. It was a train just going past. First and foremost, absolutely nothing the cruise line can do. So there's no point in really being angry at them. I guess it's how they deal with this situation now on how they're going to really be judged. Because from last week's video, you probably know we paid just under 7,000 British pounds. That's over $9,000. So it works out at about $1,300, $1,400 for both of us per night. So it really isn't cheap. It's much more expensive than staying on a suite on a cruise ship. Now, obviously it's disappointing. It really is. We were really looking forward to it, but we know that these things happen. These things can happen, which really sucks. And we're not the only boat in the water. There's lots of boats around us here in Vienna who are now stuck. There's lots of boats stuck in Budapest. So we're just going to kind of take you through and see what happens.
Like you said, Ben, there's nothing the cruise line can do. It's up to Mother Nature, and unfortunately, sometimes Mother Nature can be a bit of a so we're just basically going to judge this now on how the cruise line reacts. And when something goes wrong, it really does show what a company is made of in how they react to it and deal with it. I will say though, it would have been nice to know earlier because we kind of already knew this was going to happen, not from the cruise line, from other Facebook groups that we are already in. Other cruise lines had already cancelled cruises up to like 4 or 5 days ago. Chatter on the ship about the fact that we weren't going to go beyond Vienna was already going around the ship before it was an official. That was about 2 days ago. So it would have been nice to know earlier, and we do feel like we have a little bit been kept in the dark, that they didn't want to tell us earlier, and also that it was very last minute, that they mentioned that they just found this out and it was a miracle they made it to this point. I don't know if that's quite true, the way that they were wording it.
Wow, I have to say though, this cruise has been pretty spectacular up till this moment. I think it's our 5th or 6th river cruise, our first time with Uniworld. If you want to see what it was like, go check out last week's video. But we were just saying, I think so far, up until the Blummin River and that damn Mother Nature, I think it might be the best one we've been on. It has been really fantastic. The food has been exceptional. The crew have been wonderful. We love the ship. Our cabin's really nice as well. The only problem is that we're supposed to end in Budapest, and that's about 4 hours away by coach. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Everybody keeps asking what's going on. It's been a good few hours now and nobody seems to know, which is kind of understandable, but like David said, this isn't a surprise. It was forecast that the rivers were going to be at a record low, so I kind of don't know why we weren't cancelled beforehand or told beforehand. It is a bit of a shame. So we're going to see what's happening because we have to get to Budapest for our flight in the morning on the last day. We're basically just in a hotel now, a very, very expensive hotel. So I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of bittersweet. It's going to be a interesting ride to see how they deal with this. But it brings us to the point that there are things that a lot of people don't know about river cruises, not just the fact that rivers can be too low and high as well. If there's too much rain, the rivers can get so high that they can't get under the bridges, so that's a reason for cruises being stopped as well. So it's about 48 hours since we last saw you. Now, it was really nice to be able to explore Vienna. There are definitely worse places to be stuck. There really are. So that was really nice just to be able to get into the city and it be so close. So that was a nice little perk. So we were supposed to be in Bratislava today. That's the capital of Slovakia. It's a really nice place. It's really small, but we have been before on another river cruise. It was about an hour and a half each way on a coach, and then you get about an hour and a half, 2 hours when you're there. So we didn't really fancy being on a coach all day, because you'll hear what we have to do tomorrow. So we've finally been given information about what's going on in legitimately 11 hours. So first of all, we need to pack because we're getting taken off the ship. We would have preferred to stay on the ship just because it is quite nice. We're going to be bussed to Budapest tomorrow. Now, Budapest, we've looked a few times on the Google Maps to see exactly how long it's going to take there. No traffic, it's about 3 hours 15. Traffic, it's about 4 hours. The cruise director said it's about a 2-hour drive. And then he said that we're going to be split in half. So half the ship's going to go in a fancy hotel, half the ship's going to go in a Marriott. I don't know why he said this, because it was a bit weird and everybody was looking a little bit like, oh geez, why we're going to be split hotels. He said it was based on cabin category. Now we're in the top half of the cabins on board. We're in a really nice French balcony here in a prime position at the front of the ship. So we're in one of the nicer cabins. Not that all cabins are not nice. We came back to our cabin and we found out that we're in the Marriott hotel, which there's worse places to be, guys. I know I'm not being a dick here. I'm really not. It is a bit disappointing. We've looked online. It costs about $330 a night and we paid about $1,400 per night to be on this cruise ship, and that's why we were like, we'd like to stay where we booked and paid for with all of the food and stuff. That's not possible. So that's, I mean, it's definitely a downgrade. There's $1,000 difference in that, which is a bit of a shame. So basically, we've lost a lot of things. We've lost things like our drinks package. They have you get a full premium drinks package on board, so we're not going to get that anymore, which really does suck. And then basically, we're going to get there an hour later. They're going to have a scenic coach tour of Budapest for an hour. I don't think I want to get on another coach after just being on one for 4 hours, but that's funny. And the director said, oh, you'll see everything you were going to see on the 3 or 4 hour tour that was planned before all of this was cancelled. Don't think we're going to see Budapest in an hour. But what's great is that they do have a walking tour later on in the day. They give us 30 euros each for our lunch, which is better than nothing, but it is very expensive. We went out for a meal the other day in a little town and we had one main course each and one drink each. Mine was just a soft drink and it cost us 78 euros. So it's not even going to cover a decent lunch. We can check into the hotel at 3 o'clock and then it's 6:45 to 9:30, which I thought was a really nice touch. They're going to take us on a scenic sailing with a local boat where there's going to be a buffet dinner on board. But he did say verbatim, the food's going to be rubbish. But yeah, so we're going to get a subpar dinner. But I'm glad that we get to sail in Budapest because that's going to be really lovely because it is gorgeous. We're going to take you along for all of this as well, which is fabulous. Then the next day we get a breakfast buffet. So that's what we found out so far. I do feel like the communication hasn't been very good. Nobody seems to know what's going on with each other, just general things. But yeah, it's just a bit of a shame really that we have to get off the ship and go to a Marriott hotel. I mean, this is beautiful. I want to stay here. It's lovely. It's gorgeous. It's very posh and we've got nice products. We found out loads of stuff from another passenger yesterday about what's going to be happening today, but nobody was told, which is a bit strange. So it was kind of like on a need to know basis. The fact that we've only been told like 11 hours before we actually have to get off the ship. We've just finished dinner and it's 10 past 10 in an evening. We've got to pack now and have our stuff outside of the door in like 11 hours, which is crazy. So we better get started with that soon.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace, and we've used it for over half a decade now, which is kind of wild to think about. We run our entire website whilst traveling, usually from a cruise ship. Squarespace is perfect for that because everything is built in. No patching things together, no tech headaches. One thing we love is how easy it is to update the site. New video, new blog post, a tweak to a page. We can do it quickly, even on questionable ship Wi-Fi. Their design tools are also a lifesaver. You can start with Blueprint AI or a template, then customize it so it actually feels like you. And we also use Squarespace email campaigns to stay connected with our audience. New videos, updates, announcements, all from the same platform. So if you're a creator, traveler, or someone who just wants their idea to look legit online, this is such a solid place to start.
Go to squarespace.com for a free 14-day trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Ben and David to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
One of the biggest problems for me, and this is again something you have to be aware of on all river ships, even the ones that don't get stuck, is this. This is our view. No, it's not pitch black outside. That is basically the side of another cruise ship, or a river ship I should say. Because basically, since we got docked here, we have been stuck looking at a wall the whole time. So we've basically been in an interior cabin. We did pay extra for the French balcony to get the bigger view, but we have not basically had a view for most of the time here. Again, it's a little bit frustrating, nothing to do with the cruise line. This is just what you have to expect when you book a cruise like this. It might not be another ship you're looking at. You could be looking at a high river wall like Wales on the first day of our cruise, if you remember that from our previous video. So it's just something you have to be aware of. Of course, if we were sailing, mentally it's not too bad because you think, okay, it's fine for now, we're going to be moving on later, or even sometimes this ship might move away. But because we're basically going to be stuck here now, there's no breaking it. We've been here for 3 days now, and for 3 days we've had no view, which is such a shame.
Yeah, so basically we're paying to be in an inside cabin, but paying ridiculous amounts of money for that fact because we're just not moving anywhere. So it's been dark in here the entire time. The cabin's lovely, but it's dark. That goes for the rest of the ship as well, because we have ships either side. We're kind of in a sandwich right now. All of the areas on board are completely dark. So it's like a very dark hotel, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously this is unusual. That's not normal. Normally we'd be out sailing. It's just something that we really haven't done on this cruise ship. And I think that's what I'm a little bit more sour about. It's just that I really wanted to do some sailing, scenic sailing down the beautiful Danube, taking in all of those beautiful sights and things. That really is what you pay for. That's the lovely bonus about river cruising, and not just booking to stay in a hotel, which would be a lot cheaper, and taking the train, because it's very accessible here in Europe. It's great. The trains are amazing, so you can get from place to place very easily. We also bumped into some people on land, some of our subscribers who are really, really nice. Thank you so much for saying hi to us. We bumped into somebody from Avalon and Viking. I've wrote it down what they said. So Viking were offering 25% future cruise credit for everybody affected, which was really nice, and we've seen that's for all of their ships that are affected, and they're getting basically the same treatment we are. They're getting taken to Budapest and things. And then Avalon are offering a 50% refund, up to 50% refund for some guests who have been affected. And then we've heard Ama Waterways as well are offering a 20% future cruise credit. Now we've asked and they're not offering anything at all, so there's no discounts or anything, which is a little bit of a shame. I don't really expect compensation and things like that, but a little bit of goodwill, like a little bit off a future cruise, would be really nice, because like we said, we've had a really wonderful time here on Uniworld. It has been very, very good indeed. Just wanted to add in a little speech tonight. One thing that I didn't like was that they were criticising other cruise lines, including Viking, to try and get us to give them better ratings. They're like, make sure you rate us out of 10 and go on Cruise Critic and TripAdvisor and rate us out of 10, because there's other cruise lines, especially the big one beginning with V, who we haven't ever sailed on the river. They're rubbish and we're better. And I was like, oh, you don't have to do that. You don't have to put down other cruise lines to make yourself feel better. The Viking ships look lovely. They really do. We've sailed with Viking Ocean a few times and they're wonderful. So we would like to try the river line as well. We want to do everything we can to help you save money. We don't want to put you off. We just want to make you aware of all of the things that can happen on a river cruise if you didn't know, because we didn't know the first time. So we just want to share that information with you a little bit. I need to say something about this bed. Do you remember we talked about it on our first episode? Beds by Savoir, up to 50 grand a bed. How crazy is that? It is probably the most comfortable bed I have ever slept in. It is wonderful. Oh my gosh, guys, it is just gorgeous. If MasterCard did beds, or is it, no, is it if Carlsberg did beds, this would be the bed. For everything else, it's MasterCard. Maybe, oh, I don't know what it is. What's the saying?
There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
We wouldn't be able to afford to put this on a MasterCard. 50 grand for a bed. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's lovely though. It's such a treat. I hope the beds in the Marriott are as nice. Anyway, good night, guys. We'll see you in the morning. Sleep well. A very good morning, everybody, on what's the last day of our cruise. So we've woken up nice and early. It's just after 7 a.m. because we've got to get everything outside of our room by 8 and go have breakfast, then go get on the coach. It's a bit of a rushed morning, but it's fine. We're all packed. David's just finishing up in the shower. I've had a lovely shower. The shower's great though. That's really good. The rainfall shower in that bathroom is lovely. The bed is fabulous. I actually managed to sleep quite well, even though it's an early start. I think it's because river cruising is quite tiring, actually.
side. That's another thing about river cruising that people might not know about. Whilst it does kind of skew a lot older, so the clientele's mostly sort of 60s, 70s, 80s. Everybody's been really lovely though. It's been really nice. It's not a problem at all. It is a little bit older than ocean cruising, but it is quite active. It's quite an active holiday vacation, which is nice. We've really enjoyed it. Bike riding, lots of walking around on your own as well, doing stuff in the ports that you visit, which has been really lovely, but it is tiring. Lots of early mornings, lots of tours every day, lots of walking involved in all of them as well. So we've walked miles. And if you sort of do have a reduced mobility, and maybe in a wheelchair or something like this, it might not be the best type of vacation for you. It's definitely worth looking into. Some cruise lines will be better than others. Uniworld themselves even openly say on their website that it's not the best type of vacation for that, just because of the transportation, getting on and off of buses. Some ships don't even have lifts and elevators. Ours does, which is great. But yeah, it's worth looking at and your fitness levels and things and what you're able to achieve in port. It's just definitely worth looking at that. So, somebody's just knocked on our door, guys. Sorry about that. The cases are not due to be out for another 25 minutes, so they're already asking for them, and it's it's only 7:30, so not sure why they're knocking on our door so early. Anyway, looking on the bright side, very much looking forward to going to Budapest. It's a beautiful city, so let's make a start, shall we? I need some coffee.
Good morning. So we're already on our journey. This morning we went for breakfast, the final breakfast on the ship before we headed off, and we put our bags out this morning and everything. We left a little late. Again, the tour or the cruise director came on the bus and said that it'll be about a 2.5 hour journey. That's not true because we checked our phones. It's showing us 3 hours 45 without traffic, but we've actually hit traffic, so it's coming up to about 5.5 hours now, which is what it's going to be by the time we get there. So we're about 2 hours in now, and we've just done our first rest stop. Drinks and things aren't provided, we have to do by them ourselves. Also the toilet you have to pay for as well. The general mood on the bus is a little bit fed up. I think people are a bit disappointed that it's taking longer than we were told. I'm not sure why they're not just telling us the normal time and managing people's expectations, because I think that's what most people are getting a little bit frustrated about. But hey ho, we're on our way. It's a comfortable bus so far, and I can't wait to get there. Right, let's head back.
We finally made it to Budapest. You're not going to believe how long that took us. 5.5 hours almost. How crazy is that? Especially when the guide on the ship kept telling us it was going to be about 2.5 hours, which we knew was completely wrong. Very happy to be here. It's a beautiful day here in Budapest, and it looks spectacular. But we can't check in, so we all arrived. We all queued up, lined for about 20 minutes to check in. Nobody knew what was going on. The hotel manager came over, didn't know what was going on, asking us where our Uniworld guide was. So he said he was supposed to be here to sort everything out and make sure everything's going to be smooth for check-in. So unfortunately we can't check in, so they've just told us to go for some late lunch now that it's sort of 2 p.m. We left at 8:30 this morning, so that's a bit of a shame. So we can't check into the hotel, and we've still got all of our bags like camera equipment and stuff, so it's quite heavy and hot. So we're going to quickly go find some food, and it's just a shame it's took so long, because we're basically only got a few hours in Budapest now before we go home, so that really kind of sucks. Like I said, we would have preferred just to stay on the ship and maybe do something else in Vienna, but that wasn't an option, unfortunately.
Ben said hungry, so I brought him for some food. He didn't want any. He was just pointing around because we're in Hungary. Is that one? No? So far, we feel a connection to this place because we're always hungry. Anyway, we came for food, and looking on the brighter side, got myself a beer to chill out and relax after that long, train journey, coach journey. Came to a Hungarian restaurant and ordered some dishes, which should be very interesting. Some we know, some we don't, so I'm looking forward to it.
I am so excited. This food looks amazing. For starters, we went for the camembert. It's walnut custard and comes with a little jam kind of dip, which looks lovely. Let's have a try. Oh my God, cheesy as heck. I'm here for it. That is delicious. Very crispy on the outside and very wonderful. For my main course though, I had to go for some beef goulash, didn't I? I had to. It's a proper Hungarian favourite, and it smells wonderful. I'm going to go get a bit of everything on my little spoon here. It looks hot because it's steaming, even though it's very hot outside. Oh, hit me with a bud and call me a pest. That is absolutely blooming delicious. That's rich, delicious, paprika-y. Paprika's a big thing here in Hungary. Absolutely wonderful. Very, very good.
I went for a Lángos, or Lángos, I'm sorry for mispronouncing that. It's a deep fried bread, like a flatbread, and then they top it with different toppings, sour cream, cheese, beef goulash, all sorts. I went for the vegetarian one, which has got sour cream, cheese and vegetables on it. It looks wonderful. It looks like a giant pizza. Creamy, crispy, very tasty, tastes a little bit naughty, but really good. That's actually very, very delicious. It's huge as well.
Right, let's go back to the hotel to see if we can check in now. That was wonderful. Very good food. Our server was really, really nice as well, which was lovely. We were having a nice chat about him, with him, telling him what we'd been up to. That was just around €65 for both of us without the tip, and we left a $5 tip. Tip's not usually as much here. So yeah, so $70 altogether. So they gave us 60 and it didn't cover that, and that wasn't a very expensive place or anything. Obviously we're in the tourist heart in the capital, so it's going to be expensive. Definitely worth it, I think, but yeah, what they gave us on the ship didn't cover it, and obviously we only had one drink, one starter to share, and 2 main courses with no dessert or anything as well. So if we do go for a dessert a little later on, we are out of pocket, which is a bit of a shame. We're just being completely honest with you guys. We're just saying exactly how much we're spending versus how much they've gave us. But yeah, let's go check in.
So we're in the hotel room. It did take a while to check in, actually. There was a little bit of confusion about what was actually happening. It took about half an hour just to figure out what to do. Because there was a tour going out at the same time, it was confusing of who was waiting for the tour and who was waiting to check in. We did notice that Princess Cruises is here and Amma Waterways, but they had like signage everywhere telling people where to go, and there was nothing for us. We eventually did check in though, and we came up to the room. Our bags weren't here. We were told our bags would be taken to the room, but they weren't, so we actually went back downstairs to grab them ourselves. They were just left in storage. So again, I think the communication's been really poor. There's not really been any information at all sort of told to us. It's kind of just rumours that we've been told from other people, and the information we have been told has usually been wrong. So I think that's the biggest letdown. But we're in the room now. It's a Marriott hotel. It's by far, it's not the worst hotel in the world. It's a fine hotel. It's okay. It's your standard Marriott. The reason I'm a little bit upset, or it's a little bit of annoying, is the fact that we've paid prices that are more expensive than some of the most expensive hotels here in Budapest. So for example, some of the top hotels, the St. Regis, the Four Seasons, they're about $500 per night. When we looked at the cost of this hotel, we looked yesterday when we were told where we were staying, it was $300, but we have seen it for about $190 as well. I think it is expensive because all the cruise lines are staying here. So when you think that it's a $300 hotel, but we paid a lot more than that per night, it doesn't really add up.
One thing is though, we've got single beds, which sucks a little bit, because obviously we had the king bed on our ship, so we've been given single twin beds, so not even doubles, they're very small beds, which kind of sucks a little bit. Now we did talk about it to the hotel. We're like, can we have a king room please? And they were like, no, this is what Uniworld have specifically booked for you. So that's a bit of a shame, because we did have a king bed and they know about that. So I'm not sure if that's just us or other people as well. Maybe there isn't enough rooms left. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt with that as well. You never know. But yeah, it's a Marriott, isn't it? It is a bit rough around the edges, this one. It's definitely not 5-star. I don't know why they're calling it a 5-star hotel. The cruise director was like, oh, it's beautiful. It's a 5-star hotel. It's a Marriott. And Marriotts are completely fine. We stay in them all of the time. I'd book a cheaper place than this usually if we weren't filming it, or if we're on a night before or whatever. We don't really care about that sort of stuff. The only reason we're a little bit like, well, it's just fine, is because we paid $1,400 per night, and that certainly isn't what we've got here, but it'll do. And we were really genuinely looking forward to it. There's cruises which we just do because we want to cover because they're new, but we were genuinely looking forward to this one. I don't know, I feel like there should be maybe some future cruise credit like the other cruise lines were giving. I certainly don't want any compensation or anything like that, but I do feel like we've been a bit shortchanged now. I feel like ports and things on normal cruises get cancelled all of the time. That's completely normal. What's happened is not Uniworld's fault at all regarding the cruise, but to lose so many benefits, having to fork out money ourselves when we paid an all-inclusive cruise at a crazy price. It's probably one of our most expensive cruises at $1,400 per day, and to not even have a drink. We've got to go out and buy our own drinks now on top of that. So I genuinely don't think it's very good enough. It's 4:43 now as well in the afternoon, so it's taken the whole day, and we've only spent 10 minutes out in Budapest. We're going to get straight out there and really make as much time as we can right now.
but I do feel like we've missed out on yet another port. So it kind of is a bit sucky. It really is. Like I said, we would have preferred to stay on the ship just because it's a lot nicer than this. I mean, these are not Savoy beds, are they? They're a bit firm. But yeah, I mean, we would book somewhere like this, no problem whatsoever. But I ain't paying $1,400 a night for it. I'd pay $200 for this and I'd be thrilled. It's a Marriott hotel. You know they're going to be decent. It's like a Hilton. You know they're going to be okay. Absolutely fine. It's nice and cool. It's clean. I can't really complain about it. But yeah, it just is what it is.
It's quite funny as well because I think the mentality of people is starting to get to them and everyone is getting a little bit tired. There's a lot of people asking what did they get? Maybe because the cruise director said that we have been split between two hotels based on how much you paid for your cabin. We had some ladies come up to us and ask, how much did you get for your lunch? Because I'm hearing rumours that some people got 35 euros, some people got 60 euros each. There's a lot of that going on, so it's quite funny when you see the group slowly like implode on each other. We were like, no, it's got 30, so I found that a little bit funny.
We had a look at the website, the Uniworld website, promising all-inclusive, promising the ultimate luxury and or everything included. The website even says you're not even going to need to open your wallet. Well, if we want a drink now, we want a coffee, we want something else than water, we're going to have to go out now and buy it. Would the whole river situation influence my decision again? Absolutely. Would it put me off river cruising a little bit? Yeah, we've got another one booked at Christmas, but hopefully because it's not going to be hot and hopefully we don't get too much rain, it'll be fine. But it does make me think twice. It really does. Wow. It is stunning here in Budapest. It's lovely. It's gorgeous, so it's split into two halves, Buda and Pest, which is crazy. It's such a beautiful place. The buildings are iconic, the scenery's lovely. I'm so glad that we got to see this, I really am. Even if we do only have literally 2 hours until our little boat ride that we're going to be going on, I'm so glad that we got to see it nevertheless. I'm glad we didn't go on that tour though, because like I said, an hour isn't going to get you anywhere. We've been walking about 1 hour and 15 already, and we're just doing a loop and we're only halfway through, so you can see that river is definitely low though, and there's a lot of ships that are stuck here as well, so it is one of the better places to get stuck. Obviously you don't want to be in one of the tiny places, but yeah, it's beautiful. We're back in the room after our little walk around Budapest. That was very wonderful indeed. We've been so lucky with this weather. I say that on a two-pronged thing. Lucky that it's been beautiful, unlucky that it's been very dry and they've had no rain here obviously. We bought some drinks from the bar on the way up. My gosh, it's so expensive. It's like £5, so what's that, about $7 for an orange juice, for a Schweppes orange juice. So we've just spent £14 or nearly $20 on 3 drinks to keep us going, which is crazy. But I am looking forward to this. So let's go out and have a fun night in Budapest on the water, on the Danube, the very low Danube. So we are on our little boat now. Sorry guys, talking into the mic because it's very loud. It's a really nice little boat. I'm really glad they did this. I really am, because one of the things we were really looking forward to was sailing the Danube through Budapest, because it is very spectacular. So we've got like a 2.5 hour sunset cruise. All of your drinks are included. Yay, thank God, Uniworld, that's good. And they've got a buffet down there. Now it doesn't look anything special, but they tried, which is, it really does mean a lot. And we get to do this at sunset, which is really lovely. And it's a nice big boat. There's plenty of room. We've been split into 2 over 2 boats, so there's 60 on each boat. And it's lovely. This is wonderful, just taking in all of the beautiful sunset sights. The buildings are sparkling and golden, and we're looking forward to it turning to night when it's going to look really beautiful.
I am so glad that we've been able to actually cruise along the Budapest River, because it is absolutely gorgeous. This is my favourite thing about doing these trips, is the sailing, and I'm a little gutted we didn't get to do as much on the actual river cruise, so I'm glad they've made up for it here, because the light now is absolutely stunning. The buildings are absolutely gorgeous here, and the sun is reflecting against them and giving it this gorgeous glow. Everyone's taking pictures, and the nice thing about this is that our boat is only half full, so we've got plenty of space to move around. Looking at some of the other boats, they're absolutely teeming with people, but this is pure paradise because we can go wherever we want and get any of the pictures we want.
Oh my gosh, this is completely surreal. It's probably one of the most spectacular sights I think I've ever seen
in my entire life. These buildings are gigantic and they look so beautiful all lit up, don't they?
Yeah, seeing it on a night is so different to the daytime. It was beautiful during the day as we sailed up. We did a turnaround and now we're coming back and everything has lit up and it's given it a whole new life and a new atmosphere. It's absolutely stunning. Every building has been lit up and it's gorgeous.
It is unbelievable, guys. Just the sky and the colours, and it's beautiful. And it really has been a definite highlight and a really nice way to end the cruise, I think, as well. The passengers on board as well, we spent the whole time chatting with them and laughing and remembering all of the good moments of the cruise. It really has been fabulous.
Yeah, and what I like about this is that we've all came together on the same boat, and it's actually been a nice experience because everyone's up on the top deck now. A few glasses of wine have been drank and everyone's chatting and saying goodbye, which is kind of sad but bittersweet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really sad, guys. We're all a little family now. We started together in Passau 4 countries ago and now we're in Hungary. We're back in the hotel. It's lovely and cool in here. The cruise staff are making me laugh, guys. They're very funny with their timings. Our cruise director, I don't think he's like gaslighting us or anything. I think he genuinely thinks these things. It's like, it's a nice 12-minute journey back on the coach. It's like 40 minutes. It's very funny indeed. And then when we're about 11 minutes away, he's like, it's another 1 or 2 minutes around the corner. And it was 11 minutes. It's quite funny. I thought that was funny. I don't think he's doing it to do anything bad. Just think he doesn't quite know timing. So every time now with David, asks how long it's going to take. If it takes 30 minutes, I'm going to take, say, 5 minutes. And if it takes an hour, I'll say, oh, it takes 20 minutes. I think it's quite funny. Yeah, back to the hotel now. Really lovely night. It was lovely. We're going to get a good night's sleep now. And we'll speak to you early in the morning when we've got to get up for our flight. And that's it. It's nearly over. It's really sad. Boo-hoo.
Well, good morning. We're all packed, ready to go. Can you believe it's the end of our river cruise journey? This morning we quickly went down to breakfast. That was included and it was very good actually. Huge breakfast selection. Much better than Hilton's we've been staying in recently. The Marriott breakfast was lovely. But yeah, it's time for us to head to the airport and head back home to Yorkshire. The end of this trip. Can't believe it.
Well, hello everyone. It's about 2 weeks later now, so we're back home. We did the journey home very, very easy. We flew with KLM to our local airport, which was super easy. A really quick connection in Amsterdam, a really early start to the morning, but it was all good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and we're so glad to be back home now. We have got back into daily life here, but more importantly, we did have some feedback about the cruise.
Yeah, so we emailed them basically as soon as we got home because we didn't hear anything, and that was 2 weeks ago and we've heard nothing back. Just a kind of loose complaint letter to say, look, we paid a lot of money. We had to be out of pocket for 2 full days. We stayed in a hotel that was much less superior than what we'd paid for. We were stuck on buses all day, so we missed out days in ports. We totally understand this can happen. It's just all about how it's dealt with, and we really shouldn't have to be out of pocket when Uniworld themselves say you don't even have to open up your wallet. Now, first of all, we'd like to know what you guys would do. Do you think we're being harsh? Do you think we're being over the top? Do you think paying that amount of money, almost $2,000 a night, and then to have to pay for your own drinks when you should have a full drinks package, meals and things like that all yourself? Let us know in the comment section below. We'd love to know what you think about this, and will it put you off going on a river cruise because of this issue? The week after we went, again, there was lots of problems. We spoke to some passengers who weren't told before they went, even though the company knows. So it's all a bit funny, this whole business about river levels and things. I do think that river cruise lines need to be a little bit more transparent and clear about what can happen and what will happen if things go wrong.
And in terms of our scenario, it's a little disappointing in the post-cruise care because we haven't heard anything. We did send a follow-up email 7 days later, so that was a few days ago now, and again, we've still not heard a response. I actually sent an email to 2 different email addresses that I had, so it's a bit of a shame, and it would have been nice to share with you the response, but we don't have anything yet.
We've spoken about a few things in this episode about river cruise lines and sort of the shortcomings of them with the small cabins, not having flexible dining times and other places to eat and things. One thing that we're very much looking forward to, and we're booked on one of the first cruises, is the Celebrity Cruises river cruises that are coming, the river ships that are currently being built. We are so excited to be on that. Now, will they fix the problem of river cruise lines getting a little bit stale and a little bit samey? Well, we can't wait to bring you that later on next year. We're very excited about that, aren't we?
Yeah, because it sounds like like they're going to go full on as well. They've ordered multiple ships. I think, is it 15 ships they've ordered?
Something, it's something crazy like that. It's a lot.
So we're excited to see what they do, a little bit of a shake up to the industry, and to see what their ships are going to be like.
Overall though, we had such an amazing cruise. We really do enjoy river cruising. And up until the point where it went wrong, Uniworld was doing everything basically perfectly apart from one or two little issues that you saw in our last episode. We thoroughly enjoyed it. The scenery was magical and spectacular. The food was great. The crew were great. We just had such a wonderful time. So it's so sad that it came to this in the end, where we ended up being out of pocket and sort of not getting what we wanted. Why didn't they just let us stay on the ship when we wanted to? We asked and they said no. So that really sucks for us. We would have just preferred to stay on the ship, even made our own way to Budapest, maybe provided a bus or something in the morning for everybody to go get their flights. It is really a shame, it really is. But like, you know, guys, we're always very honest and transparent. Sometimes we're a little bit over the top, sometimes we get things wrong. It's a lot of money though, and things are really tight at the moment with everybody. Everything's getting so expensive, and you pay a lot of money to go on vacation, and when it isn't perfect, things should be made up. I really do think they should be, especially when it's so expensive.
Look, we're not going to let this dampen our spirits. We do really like river cruising. We had a fantastic time. Austria was incredible.
Amazing.
Absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to go back and try it again. So if you are looking at river cruising, absolutely do it, but these are just things that you've got to be aware of.
Absolutely. Now we have to say a big thank you to our patrons. Our patrons help us to self-fund trips like this. We paid for absolutely everything, flights, the cruise, everything. So you too can find out about becoming a patron in the description section below. There's a link that you can click on, and we give you loads in return. Episodes that nobody else gets to see, plus a monthly video chat, which is so much fun, where we get to talk to you all, which is awesome. So check out that link in the description section below. And I guess that's it till next time. Happy cruising!